Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe and this is Old Trafford on Friday morning, one day before Manchester United versus Leeds as the Premier League looms over us all after what has been a pretty eventful summer, I think, all things in. But you know, we all want football back, proper football back, and it is coming back tomorrow. Today then we have an update on Raphael Varane, or I say an update. It's the latest on Raphael Varane. What's going on with him? He still hasn't been announced by Manchester United. Presumably that must happen today. Surely that has to happen today. You can't just never announce him. The deal's done. The contract is signed. Everything's put in place except we as fans aren't allowed to know that that's all been done apparently. United can't release that and announce that just yet. And we'll get into just why that's happening as well. Right then, so the latest on Raphael Varane, and this comes from Sporting Witness. And this is apparently the reason why we haven't announced him yet is because of image rights issues. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what that means, basically, what a player looks like on camera can be sold. And that seems interesting to me because really, if someone just takes a picture of you, that's their picture. But apparently not. Apparently that's not the case. So what can happen is there's loads of different ways image rights can be shared up and put down and sort of sold. And sometimes it's owned by the player. Sometimes the player will sell those image rights outright to a company that then sort all their sponsorships out with them. So when you see, you know, Anthony Martial with Pepsi, not that I don't know even if you do, but you know what I mean, you see him on a Pepsi advert, he may have sorted that directly, or he may have already sold the availability of his face to another company and they say, Tuesday night you've got a Pepsi Max commercial. What can then happen is two things. First of all, Manchester United now may have to negotiate with Varane's team for those image rights. So sometimes there's, you know, conflicts of interest. Maybe he's with Nike, maybe he's with this brand, this whiskey company, this tractor company, and United go, well, we've got this tractor company, and his team go, well, you're going to have to pay us for that. These are the sorts of things that take place that are worth a lot of money to footballers. Obviously, it's not just the case of a few quid here and there. This can be millions of pounds. This can be the good, you know, a good chunk of money, maybe even the majority of money in certain players' cases of their wages can come from image rights and sponsorships. So obviously, there's a reason why these players need to keep hold of that, need to do right by themselves, because so just as they wheel past the Meccano Old Trafford, I think that's the new Lego Old Trafford there, look. He's just putting the final pieces in. That's even more expensive than the Lego one. So yeah, get your new Meccano Old Trafford coming soon to a Tesco near you. The image rights thing is an interesting one because it's in that realm of sort of celebrity and status that I think most of us don't really understand. Like the idea of me being able to sell my face to someone else and saying you can't use my face on that brand, you can use it on that brand, is a very odd one to, I think, to the normal person. But obviously to footballers this is this huge thing. Now the interesting part of this, and this is again from Sporting Witness, the interesting part of this is he supposedly trained yesterday, which is obviously good news. Now, I don't know whether there is a training session today on Friday. Some teams do training the day before a game. Some teams don't do training before a game, depending on what the fixtures are, the run of fixtures is like. What we do know is he has trained for Manchester United reportedly. That means to me there is a chance he plays on Saturday. And I think that's really all we care about, isn't it? Can he play on Saturday? I don't think he'll start, but I think if he was training on Thursday, with the new rule where you can have 9 subs on the bench, I think we will see Raphael Varane in the squad against Leeds. We may even see him announced before the game. That would be an interesting one. Hopefully we can get this deal done today and sorted, get these image rights out of the way, pay who needs to be paid, pay whatever agency it is, pay whatever brand it is. Who knows exactly the details on it. What needs to happen is we need to get this sorted because they're going to be building this Old Trafford soon. And when it's finished, when this Old Trafford Stadium's finished, and let me tell you, it's going to be a beauty when it is, we want to see Raphael Varane out on the pitch at Old Trafford, being raised up just like those metal poles are there, raised up to some sort of godlike status. So that is the latest on Raphael Varane. He has signed for Manchester United. It hasn't been announced yet due to image rights issues, according to Sport Witness. And again, the key thing here for me is, yes, the image rights stuff, whatever, that will get resolved. The key thing for me is he supposedly trained yesterday. That is huge because that means he's one step closer to playing for Manchester United. But is he one step closer to signing? Only time will tell. Right, next up then, and this is a story coming from I hate to say it, the Daily Mail, and this is that Manchester United have rejected a £50 million bid for Anthony Martial. Supposedly, Inter Milan are looking at replacements for Lukaku, which makes sense because they have sold him, and they did quite use him, didn't they? He was their top scorer last season. He is their best player, probably, Inter Milan. Now he's gone to Chelsea. Now he's gone to try and improve Manchester United's Premier League rivals. They're going to need someone else, and apparently they've picked Anthony Martial, and we've said no. So there's that story for you. The Daily Mail, again, take it with a pinch of salt, but apparently Manchester United have rejected a £50 million approach from Inter Milan. I'm not sure it was a full bid. I think it was just a sort of, that Anthony Martial fella, you fancy selling us him? And we said no. There you go. As you can see there, they're just finalising the building, the construction work of Old Trafford, just putting, I think, what is security measures ahead of, let's face it, Leeds fans. I say that like it's an insult. I mean, take it as you want, but Leeds fans. So we're going to be seeing a lot of three-quarter length trousers tomorrow, a lot of calf tattoos with the Leeds badge, I'm sure. That's the trademark of the Leeds fan, isn't it? A lot of shouting, a lot of spitting. But yeah, the final touches going on Old Trafford there ahead of the brand new Premier League season. And do you know what? Yes, it's a bit annoying because they're sort of ahead of us in their pre-season. They're a difficult team to beat at the best of times, and now United don't even have half of our players back, let alone Marcus Rashford, who's not going to be here for a couple of months. But it's a great start to the season, isn't it, Leeds? And hopefully get a win and get that title challenge up nice and early. Right, that's going to be all from me this morning. Let me know what you think to this Varane debacle at this stage. If you haven't already, check out Transfers Live from last night. Me and Joe McGrath have a little debate about where exactly Raphael Varane is, because we saw him doing kick-ups in a garden, and that was a week ago. Is he still there? Has he been trapped in his own garden? Who knows? Make sure you check that video out if you haven't already. Coming up on the channel, we've got all the build-up to the Leeds game. We've got the preview coming out. We have got our Premier League predictions as well. And of course, we will have the watch-along tomorrow and fan cams as well. So thank you very much for watching the news this morning. We'll see you in a bit.